According to Jesus himself, not according to Christians or tradition, what was the big idea of his message? Well, more than 100 times in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, Jesus talks about the kingdom of God. I haven't verified this, but I've seen one scholar comment that 90% of the teachings in the synoptic gospels are somehow attached to this idea, the kingdom of God. Matthew uses the phrase kingdom of heaven. It means the same thing. It's a circumlocution. It's a way of not using God's name in vain that Jews of the first century use. But kingdom of heaven, kingdom of God. In the Gospel of Thomas, it's the kingdom of the Father, but it's all the same thing. So the kingdom of God is what it's really all about. What did Jesus mean when he talks about the kingdom of God? Some people say, well, the kingdom of heaven equals salvation. It's how to die and get to heaven. So we're taking our dominant paradigm and assuming that's what the kingdom of heaven is. That's sort of like saying a computer is a mathematical calculator machine. True enough, but it's not the entire big picture. Well, we know from Matthew 13:44 through 46, you can look it up yourself, it's the parable of the pearl, that the kingdom of God is indeed the most important thing in life. And we know the kingdom of God is an already present reality. Luke 17:21, the kingdom of God is in your midst. Mark 1:15, the kingdom of God is at hand. Greek word engizo meant it's already arrived. The train has pulled into the station. All you have to do is get on board. And then if you look at Mark 4:30 to 32, the parable of the mustard seed, we see that the kingdom, yes, the kingdom of God is here, yet the kingdom of God is growing. It's expanding. It's spreading throughout time and space. It's like a tiny plant that becomes huge, or in sociological terms, the kingdom of God moves through societies like a spreading revolution. But you still may be asking, what exactly is the kingdom? How do we find this kingdom of God? Jesus doesn't give us a definition. He gives us dozens of stories, but he doesn't give one didactic explanation of what it is. I think because he wants us to grapple. He wants to say, what is the kingdom to you? Well, here's a story. But we moderns like definitions. We want a little more than that. So, from my understanding of the kingdom of God, go to part 3 of the enormous missed point.